Okay, so one of the main reasons I'm making this video today is over the weekend I got an email from an old client. She'd been doing pretty good. She's about 8 months deep into her recovery process, and most of her dermatitis and eczema is slowly reducing, and she only has one major issue, and that's on her left hand. That hand is something that she exfoliates daily. She takes really good care of her skin, but she started over exfoliating and the skin on her hand was just always raw for about 2 weeks in a row. She was exfoliating every day and the skin was constantly raw. Well, that led to a huge infection. Ended up having to go to the hospital, having to get a round of antibiotics, and you guys know the deal. When you get an infection and when you get antibiotics, it's a big challenge to overcome that as well. So she went through that last weekend, and it made me kind of want to make a video for you guys talking about what signs you should look for when thinking about how much to exfoliate. Should you be exfoliating every single day? And what risks come from it over exfoliating? So in general, this is the best way to go about exfoliating. If you have the ability to remove the dead skin and it does not cause an open wound or some bleeding or some oozing, I would say exfoliate it. If the exfoliating process is hard, the pieces are stuck on there, it's like ripping scabs off, and it opens wounds and it causes a bleeding or oozing or an open gnarly sensation, I would not exfoliate. It's kind of that bare bones. So I was one of the lucky people. I did not get many infections at all during my recovery process, and I was someone who exfoliated aggressively. I exfoliated almost every single day, and the methods that I used were dry brushing, soft cotton towels, and then just using like body wash and a body glove inside of the shower. So I took care of my exfoliation big time. I also would use a brush and a comb and tweezers. And if I had flakes in my mustache and flakes on my face and flakes on my forehead, I would get all the flakes off every single day. The rest of my body was more dry skin. I would get flakes on my arms a little bit and flakes on my knees. But the other eczema and dermatitis for me was more just red, itchy, burning. The flakes and the exfoliation needed to happen on my face and my scalp and a couple other small places. So I did it every day, but if I was starting to overdo it and cause like scabs or open wounds, that's when I would stop exfoliating and let the natural process take care of itself. Once you get to that place where you have an open wound or the flesh is just raw and red or oozing, you don't want to keep putting harsh treatments into it. You don't want to dry brush that. You don't necessarily want to keep exfoliating that. You will cause infections and you don't want your wounds to stay open. I guess this is kind of a good place to talk about antibiotics and my viewpoint on them. And here's the name of the game with exfoliation and the skin health recovery. When you are having a flare-up, you have to fight against infection. So you can use things topically like oregano oil, tea tree oil, things of that nature, even aloe, even coconut oil with its antifungal, antibacterial properties can help out a lot. But once you get to that place where you have an infection, you have to treat that infection first. That becomes first priority. If that infection spreads or if that infection goes too deep, it's gonna cause your healing process to step way back. So it's more important to fight against infections and fight against that raw open skin than it is to try to obsessively exfoliate every single day. Now here's where the tough choice comes in for a lot of you guys. You get to that place where you're infected, you go to the doctor, and of course what are they going to do? They're going to offer you antibiotics. Most likely they'll offer you some type of steroidal cream, depending on your situation. You have to take this into consideration. What is going to be the fastest way to heal that infection? For some of you, skipping the antibiotics and letting it run its course will be awesome, and then you don't have to deal with all the gut issues that antibiotics create. For others, if you don't take the antibiotics or you don't take some help from a doctor, the infection might spread and get so bad that it's gonna take you so much more time to recover. And this whole thing is a fight with the immune system or a balancing of the immune system. So if you're constantly getting infections on the surface of your skin due to over exfoliation, then you're not helping your immune system at all. We want to nurture the immune system. We want the immune system to get really strong. Sometimes, in some occasions, taking that antibiotic is the best thing. If it's the only thing that is going to take away the infection, then of course that's what you got to do. But talk with your doctor and make up your own mind if that's the path you want to take. I personally don't take antibiotics unless it's the absolute last resort, and it's going to absolutely mess up my entire health if I don't take it. And I do have a video, and I will link it somewhere, about how to exfoliate, the processes, the ways that I go about doing it. So besides the exfoliation process, when you are having flare-ups or when your skin is really dry and flaky and in need of exfoliation, you want to go to an anti-inflammatory protocol. The protocols that I created for flare-ups, the flare-up protocol, are awesome. Cold exposures, 18-hour fasting, lots of cold pressed or raw juices. Just knock that inflammation down. It will help the process of the skin turning over new skin and exfoliating itself. If you are able to do that protocol, the flare-up protocol, and during the time of a possible infection, you also might be able to reverse that infection. Knocking that inflammation down, using some antifungal, antibacterial stuff on the surface of the skin, you might be good to go. You might avoid having to go to the doctor. You might avoid having to take those antibiotics. One thing that I see mostly is in phase 1 and 2, that's when you're going to be having a ton of flare-ups. The body's detoxing a lot. You're going to have a lot of topical stuff going on. And that's when I see people kind of get this whole thing wrong. They either don't exfoliate enough because they're afraid, or they exfoliate way too much and they're way too aggressive, and they cause themselves some extra damage that they don't need to deal with. If you're someone who's learning about the 3 phases and you're looking to have a deeper understanding and a deeper knowledge, we are offering a really cool group/community coaching course that'll be 4 weeks long, and we will dive deep into the 3 phases of healing the skin. We're gonna go week by week, flush it all out. There'll be a group forum, connect with other people, live chats. It's gonna be awesome. You can sign up for that at the website, holistichealthactivation.com. For those of you who are looking to work with me privately, there's a link in the description for that. Make sure you guys have headed over to the Instagram channel. I'm putting up lots of information there as well. And if you're new to this channel, remember to subscribe and share. If you're old to this channel, remember to hit that notification bell. Leave all your comments down below. Much love to you guys. I'll be back with many more videos real soon. Peace, adios, bye-bye. Talk to you later.